in the Bible speaking about spiritual busybodies. Always learning, but not getting. I sincerely have not tried to be critical. I look at the Christianity I have walked through in my life. I found few are not the spiritual busybodies. They all think they're getting somewhere. Or some just running in circles, so all living in this realm. Just play the game, so it's not necessarily a bad game. A lot of fun, a lot of downs, a lot of dynamic involved. But it's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to know what it is. You're supposed to know why you do it. You're supposed to learn each missing.
Strategic.
Exactly. You know you're not good at it, to begin with. But there's a way you learn that of 10 games, well, I'm going to be good, right? So I know exactly what to do now, how to learn it, right? Certain games, that game is over, I'm not you lacking fun. He's a master of skill sets. There's nothing strange about it. You may not necessarily good, really in the result, but you know exactly the way how that game should be played. And you appreciate the excellence of that game and others' excellence in playing it, no less than the person who did it. Do you understand my point? You know exactly who is good at it, who is not good at it, who is have potential to be good at it, who is not have potential. You understand my point? So we do that all the time with the practical things in life. We just don't do that with the spiritual things. Why? Religion. Religion should translate the whole thing. This is bash. And we think we're getting somewhere because we're just not involved. So last time I said, in the Bible speaking about there are people who always want to learn and learning but not getting anywhere, right? So what's the word called? It's not making progress. And the result will be always you will find stagnation or second round. It's a refusal to treat learning wisdom as a highest goal and joy of life. And most of the time with God's people, who call the name God, is because we pursue the contest, the goals, the visions of religion dictate to us. I want to be gifted. I want to serve the Lord. I want to evangelize. So I'm not talking about the bad things, okay? But that's not what you do. That's not how to serve the Lord. So how to serve the Lord is, I want to know perfectly what the will of the Father for me. If not every day, at least every week, right? In the season where I am. I want to know exactly why I'm a person in my life. I want exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not waiting for the future for God's purpose will to be across to me. I want to know God's will. I want to know God's will. I'm going to pray hard. Lord, reveal to me. Send somebody tell me. Well, how about this quiet 5 minutes that you already know God's will and get over it? You see, why are we saying like that? Religion, somehow your life should be used in another way. You should concern yourself in another way. But we're missing the living reality today, at this moment, what God doing in your life. If only I'm there, if only something happened to me, then God and me going to be one. We're going to do amazing things. He's doing amazing things right now. You just don't feel amazed about it. And that's why you never get there. When you get there, it will ruin you. Why is it going to ruin you? You don't know how it happened. You're just another agitator of religion, propagator of religion. I'm making sense to you guys? You're not knowing. You're supposed to be a wisdom practitioner and teacher, the lead and teach wisdom. And you're all going to find that intuitively. Because you think something wrong about people doing it. Busybody. Spiritual one, busybody. They can't quiet their own soul. They refuse to display their own soul. So last time we talked on the topic a little bit about spiritually person. We are spiritual man, spiritual personalities. We have to see my spirit need to be displayed. Now that is God's definition of humility at this spirit. He's not even concerned with soul at this point. The soul lost the touch, the soul feel need to get close to God. That's only the symptoms. Like things spilled over. Listen, you're in a dry riverbed. You surely know the fountainhead is lost. You're gonna suffer there. Where is my fish? Where is my I mean, but come on now. Some rock will fall on the fountain. I'm talking. Something is damming up, and so the soul is that riverbed. Is an outflow of something. When dry or struggling, have all kind of things. It's this manifestation thing. So now don't tell me you can do nothing about that fountainhead. What river come out of it? What water come out of it? Pure or not? Large or not? And that's exactly what Jesus meant when he said, ask, shall be received. Knock, can be given to you. He's talking about the Holy Spirit, right? We often think it's about spiritual power, spiritual miracles, spiritual abilities, manifestations that, something's happened. He's talking about source, all things. And you have to ask. So what I said, humility. Am I right? So where is humility? You don't have much. You're poor. You need to be large. You need to receive more. Am I right? The more you have, the more. Ask more. Ask. And ask with a spirit of poverty. Ask one with the spirit of poverty. I always said, I don't know about that. So I'm pretty good. My water is good. My fountain is pretty large. I'm good to go. You see all the fish out of the valley. You see everything good there. Wonderful. Is that enough? You would think that's good, right? That's pretty good to me. So if I tell you that's not enough, you would think I'm crazy. What about the why? What about the oil? Huh? Not sure. Really? Do you want to be a fountainhead? Just water, or you want to be an everlasting flowing wine? Sweet wine, right? Is that enough? How about oil? God's glory. Now you understand what I'm saying, right? So, God is rich. But God's way is not always about expansion. He definitely wants everything come to the good order, but his way is transformation. So you don't tell me transformation has nothing to do with a different set of glory into another glory. The transformation glory to glory, am I right? So how you do that? Well, you transform your life. A butterfly is coming from somewhere, right? Amen? So transformation. I use the river and the flowing of things. So how you do that? Ask, seek, and then understand. How many people know why God ordained cleansing water, celebrating wine, and holy oil, anointing oil in his ordinances? Not many. They think they know.
Yeah.
Do they really know as I know? I was there with you. You would have said, are you crazy? We know. Really? Because in my understanding, if I'm not trying to boast, it's just a simple sentence. I might just give you this solution. Write all of those miracle dictionaries, books, whatever. It's redundant now. I know why God did it. I was there. I am the one changed. I don't need those bouncing balls. I don't play your game, getting busy. I don't need to study 1,000 days to get to know why I'm there. I know one sentence, one big eye. And you don't tell me I don't know. On the contrary, I will tell you, when you try to challenge me, you don't know. You really don't know. And you think that's miraculous? Well, I have many other things to tell you, you don't know. Yeah? Are you crazy? Well, I know why God did it. Not how. Not what. I know why. So who will know? Now that's God, the Father, to a Son, kind of counsel. True spiritual level is always in this level, the wisdom to wisdom. Am I right? Glory to glory. God cannot speak that to Moses. You know why? He can. He has not given them grace to fellowship. My son, let me show you why I did that. He can't tell Moses, this is why I do it. This is what I want you to do. And the Son of Man came to the world, changed that, am I? Close that book. Open another book. What is that book is about? What that testament is about? And that's religion. Let's set rules and do don'ts on a posture of fellowship. If that is a posture of fellowship, how we learn? How we enter that fellowship? How we do it? Just because miracles? Because somebody said? Because of scripture printing? Oh, drop all into this one. I got there. You really there? By the way, even you there, you have miracles, thousand, day and night. You quiet there. Have you been taught there? Have you been taught? I was just sitting there looking at things. Stare was ever going on. And then you already get there. Well, how about you sitting down? Like a little baby, sitting tall. Who has better blessing? Let me ask. Do you want to be called in heaven everything? Learn nothing? Come back to girl and said, I've been seeing everything going on in heaven. Not a father, as a father, as a son. Well, who is better privileged? Who found a better favor in God? Who God more loved? Let me just ask. Would you do that? You can have 1,000 guests come. Hey, I'll show you everything I have. Look what I do. But go back. Oh, you have a son, child. Don't worry about too much. But everything I do, I will show you why. How I do it. Father to a son. Father what? To a son. So I'm not talking about prophetic gifts, apostolic gifts. Those are secondary vocabularies. The real gift. You know, God talked to a son differently. Jesus discipled others as one who truly knows what? The Father. That's different, right? Why you listen to me very attentive right now? Have I talked about this, that going to happen to you? Why is that going to do? Do I give you? Why? Let me ask why. Because the source. Because you know the source. Because you know such wisdom, some such texture, you understand my point. You have tasted good wisdom of the Lord. You know honey or sugar, the difference, right? Don't tell me you know the difference between a cup of water and aged wine. You know the difference. But how many want to know the difference? We're all spiritual. We're all speaking faith. We're all being sanctified. God is all transforming us. I'm not being ridiculous, I'm sarcastic, I'm talking about the reality check. Right? So, do we really mean anything? Do we really that means anything? I know it means a lot to Jesus, than to Paul, than to Timothy, than those who listen to Timothy. Oh, godly people. But there is a come on now, Emma, you see my point. Emma, come on. Yes. Sister, you pray for us. Do you still have a headache?
No. I don't, as a matter of fact.
Do I need a testament? Do you still have a headache? Let me ask this word question.
I do not have a headache.
Why?
Because of the power of God. You have wisdom. You know how to deal with it. Thankful. I'm learning. There's a reason for this struggle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. You see?
Yes. See, I wrote it down.
Do you feel your trouble? Try to fight it for answers, or you know answer already? Do you say, Mr. Gretchen, I don't know what to do next solution. I don't know. What is that? You know what? Let it come. I'm going to have it.
Amen.
You see the change of posture.
Yes.
One is under, am I right? This one is above, ready. Practice. I'm not saying you're going to do everything perfect. It's not. You have, right? It's done. I just need to learn to do that. Amen. Amen. You know? So, amen? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Anything? Do I need to loud shout to you? God is for you. Your spirit is in labor. Consequently, your soul is established. And when you learn this way, you begin to know how to console to people. Because you're not impressed with whatever comes to soul. Actually, the more struggling, the more thing demanding your attention, the more you reserve. You say, you know what? I can let that storm to die down myself. That's weird when, not going to catch me. You sounds critical, sounds unloving, sounds not caring. Are you crazy? I'm not going to be ruled by those things. I'm not going to be entangled by those things. That's a basics, a discipline of a spiritual life. And you don't think that is a necessity for your life? You're blinded. You're foolish. The Bible speaking of fools. So. And the others said, that's wrong. And you think that is a rebuke to you? Well, you have never heard real rebuke yet. Life itself going to rebuke you. When everything is broken for you, when life of the ground falling you, when the devil come over you, well, life is going to rebuke you. I'm not laughing. I'm still helping. I'm still telling you I'm going to reach out to you. But are you listening? I'm not going to do it your way. I'm not going to be under. I'm above the storm. I'm above the waters. I am from God. I'm sitting with God. I'm looking down at you. Yeah. That's I'm looking. From above, looking down at you. Not because I despise you as if you're a tiny ant. I know where you are. You from below. I'm from above. That's decided. You're operating with a wisdom where? I'm below. I'm staying and dialogue and grow and ask God for help with wisdom. I didn't say I'm perfect. But I don't process my life by seeking fellowship, understand, practice, then wisdom from above. Amen. As the highest joy and the state of my life. Ask, you shall receive. You ask many things, but one thing you need to ask is the Lord. One thing. Or many things. Eventually, this is one thing. What do we ask as a man seeking God? The Bible clearly said. Oh, ask God for love. What a shallowness. Because people when see such things, it's pretty much religious. This is made out of their mind. They actually never understand the way of love. It's always from the soulish point of view we talk like that. Am I making sense to you? You can think about it. Why they talk like that? They condition God in their own ways. Try to drag God down to their turn. And say, this is how we should be blessed. This is how we should do it. Religion. Your own way. But one thing we need to ask is wisdom of God. Amen? I want to know God's ways. Am I right? And His way is love. He is love. The more I know Him, the more I know that I am loved. That's beyond the question, but the more I know He is love. Therefore, everything He does, everything He is love. Whether in the being or in the expression. And without wisdom, I cannot love Him. I don't know how to love Him. I don't want a puppy just to follow Him around. I don't love Him. I want to love Him as a son. That's why He can talk with me, share His inmost thoughts with me. Not because, oh, God is so so love me, a purebred little child. Well, recognize he does. He's tender, he's gentle, he's really romantic, it can be him, right? So, but he don't love a song in such a way. A song is not a child. A song shares his concept. You know what I'm talking about, right? We're natural. Nothing wrong about it. And everything that is reasonable and productive and wise in this life is a reflection of who God is and the way how He wants Himself to be sorted out. It's natural. It's just there. It's there. It's not far away from you. It's here. The little dog walking around. Have a certain habit, is doing certain things. 3 months later, I know that dog will be different. Why are you going to be different? Because, hey, I raised up 10 dogs. I see how those dogs. I know dog. That dog is not a vicious one. It's not a stubborn one. With my care, with mine, he has no clue what he's going to be like, right? But he's going to be a good dog. And you never tell yourself, oh, I have nothing to do, God is going to do it. That making sense to you? But religion tells you what that? You can't do that. But that's all about God's entrustment and the true wisdom about doing things. So, all you enter into this level of conversation, the wisdom, fellowship in God's wisdom, learn wisdom, am I right? Not just, okay, I'm going to reach it someday. Never any story. Transformation to transformation, am I right? The more you have, the more will be given to you. The more you ask, basically. Father, it's a wonderful, mighty, pure rebirth. Now what else? Winds flow my mountain. Oh, thank you. Now what else? And that's God can do. Oh, I'm not sure. Well, you just leave it to God. That's in the Bible, so that's your blessing, right? So, amen. And people labor in this field and labor for this field. They're not going to be bogged down by their affairs and that. They're about more than the freeze, man. They are about the concerns, man. Come on now. That's not they want to do it. That's because you never believe it are the result. They not try to be spiritual, godly. Keep themselves. They're in another world. They are from another reality. At least they try to stay there, right? Fellowship there. Therefore, they're not of the world. So what do you want them to do? They can't help to be not of man's free, right? So they're not concerned about man's affairs. Are they heartless people? Or they really have a heart? Who really have a heart to love God and understand God? Tell me about it. A religion give us another judgment, am I right? Oh, those people don't love. Those people don't love. Are you kidding me?
Too heavenly minded to be any earthly good.
Yeah. It was, are you kidding me? Say that to your mom. The mom loves, and Mariah cares. He don't charge the nation, he don't charge them. You know, Rachel take care of children, take care of the city affairs. She don't have to teach, she don't have to know all things, right? But her presence, her way of handling herself, and the children will miss it. But until on the deathbed, maybe wake up, oh, my mom, she was a wild woman. Without her, I don't know what happened. My life was kind of a lot of heartaches, so I'm blessed, to have a godly mom, a wise mom in life. And you see my point, so tell me how you go about your life. Who is more productive? Or that's to your children, or everybody can have that you have to have such impact over everybody in your life, right? Well, if you do this, sister, let me tell you something. If you do this, from this point of view to engage conversation with your mom, what do you do? 1 year, she should give up. Why she give up? Because she will not know how to argue with you. Her wisdom is subdued. She will learn to be quiet. Why should she do that? She will feel convicted. She will know that I'm not supposed to carry myself before my daughter. I'm supposed to have godly influence. I'm supposed to know better. I know that myself. She will not indulge herself. Say, this is how I talk. Then you're supposed to understand me. I'm supposed to endorse that. You don't need to crack her or critique her. You just stay there and say, Mom, the weather's good. Am I right? And when she needs you say, Mom, I think this is what God did. And I think that's what God did in your life. Ready? Oh yeah. She will have a dream. She will have a vision. Why? Because God didn't say that. Elaine, do you recognize the 3 major dreams that we mentioned today? Everyone was because I prayed with you, right? Don't tell me we didn't pray for it. Don't tell me it's not having impact in your life. Don't tell me when you understand, you try to, manage to understand it. Don't tell me those one thing decide everything happening. So, spiritual impact. The Spirit God reigns our soul. Amen? Hallelujah. Do you need a high topic? It's a natural. It's inevitable outcome. God sent a dream, said this is what is going on. Well, her life is conditioned, but if you care about God, right? So, her condition, she want to walk in God's will and God's counsel, right? So, they never believe her life is going to be all around it. And God is going to produce all kinds of experiences in woman in her life to make that work out. It is about a job, to meet somebody today, to this, who cares? Who cares deeply, right? I don't know. But I know God is going to send a fire off the old life from you. That's I know. When it happened, don't tell me I don't know what happened. You think, right? Is that arrogant or just realistic? That's what God is doing. So when I talk to you, God is doing this to you. He's burning things. What are they? right? Wake up, wake up, is that milk or just, oh Lord, that's what you're doing, am I? Everything that's making sense, so. Can you stand up, pray for us?
Father, we just thank you for who you are, God. Just thank you for your ways and for how you deal with each of us, Lord. Thank you, God, for this lesson, Father. Just thank you, Father, that you operate in a different reality, Lord. We just pray, God, that we would continue to learn of that and be in tune with that, Father. We ask, Lord, that you would just refine our spiritual intuition, Lord. That you would continue to open our ears and our eyes to receive you in your way, God. May we in our own mindsets stay out of the way, Lord. May we just be guided by your Spirit, Father. Just ever hungry for your wisdom, Lord. May we receive of it and put it into practice, Lord. Just see your hand in all things, Father. We bless you, Father. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name.
When you walk in this way, you don't have to struggle to be close with God. God is going to reveal himself everywhere to you, you have divine sensibility all the time, so it's easy for you to learn. You don't need to do it. He's just going to teach you. He's going to throw everything to you to teach you. This is just not for the topic I'm speaking about how God did it. He has always been doing this in my life. Because I'm interested in something, something caught my attention. It's not just, caught my attention. And there's a lot of content. It got my attention, really it's just my mind. Doesn't mean that at least 4 or 5 sources converge together. Oh, Lord, okay. And when I want to learn, when I recognize that, I don't need to learn anything anymore. I said, no, okay, that's why you bring those in my past. I don't need to know the details, every knowledge, every facet. Okay, that's why. Oftentimes, just want to teach me to bring my awareness. Sometimes it's for me to pray. Do you understand my point? For example, recently the Lord is teaching me. I was listening casually. I just use a simple example. This is all the time, right? So it was bragging about, no, you know me, so, you know that happened to you, right? So it's normal. This is actually, it's supposed to be normal. I was listening to casually, I have this word piece called dramatized play, the BBC did it, it's very beautiful. I don't know if BBC or somebody did it, very beautiful. So I always love word piece, I don't know, listen to anything a long time. I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna retire a little bit in my school. And then somehow was good to this store, good to the coffee shop. You had to wait for a while in the morning sometimes. I don't remember the occasion. There's a story pocket there, so we decided to go to this bookstore, right? So, and the corner called Northwest, the Bada Bean or something like that. So I walk in, there's a nice young girl behind the barriers. That's a nice bookstore. You walk there, walk up downstairs, upstairs, and you just can't walk out without buying anything. So I decided I don't have much money, but I'm going to buy some book I'm interested. I don't want to be world valuable, because I don't have little money. I don't want to spend, to buy books. My budget is $10. So I decided to walk around. After you walk around, you just decide, okay, I need to go. Lord, give me the book. So that's always happening randomly, so you know the story. And the book showed up. And one of the book I pulled out. I said, okay, I'm gonna buy this book regardless of the price nowadays because it's a book it's translated Toy Story. It was an old book, very solid book, a sticky book, right? So
Oh, wow.
it's a plain paperback ebook, you know. The store never have books under $5, you know, every day. The cheapest is $5. You know, it's a bookstore, good bookstore.
Yeah.
Do you know what that book cost me?
Mm.
$1.50.
Oh, wow.
I brought a book, so I don't know the amount, so I bought another book about $7 to $8. I thought, hey, you know what, 2020 is okay. So, oh, there's a change for you. I said, are you sure? Keep the change in.
Yeah.
So the book come around, I said, you know what, I really don't have time to read it. I have too many things. It's a story. I made a move and I decided, you know what, my bathroom, I'm going to set a table. I always have the habit to want to read certain things, right? So I always set a book. I need a book sitting there to try to read it. I just rearranged my bookshelf, right? I don't know where book is. Toy Story. This is strange, right? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. You hear the story. This book is talking about his life. Literally started with a real story I'm listening to. Start with the real character, right? Yes, that's not enough. I said, you know, Lord, that's wonderful. I really want to know that time what Russian like in history setting, what's really going on, right? Can you give me a snippet of it? Syllabuses about it? I don't want just any information or the details. I just want somebody have a real insight about this and give me a syllabus. So I was reading this book, you know, picked up called The Tragedy of Hope by this guy, very famous book. I resisted reading that book for a long time, you know. I thought, okay, maybe to opinion it, you know. So, but I decided to read it, and I was very fascinated by it because without reason, I was thinking recently, liberalism. Do you know I never know what liberalism is about, you know? This is how God does it, right? They said, write a post about liberalism. I said, Lord, I don't even know what liberalism is about. You think you know, you really don't know it, right? Especially conditioned in a certain nation. But he said, no, just write this. So I wrote an opinion. We're relaxing, we're practical, without any knowledge what I'm talking about.
It's amazing.
I know. So I always feel bad about it, you know. So I said, I'm not interested in politics. I'm not interested in commenting what's going on in this nation, especially in those terms, right? So, and the next thing the Lord said, write about the capitalism. About the republicanism. Oh, Lord. I have a brief understanding, but I don't really know the meat, right? So it's all flying there. Now, when you enter into this level of dialogue with God, things become easy. What I mean is that you make a decision pretty much, you know it's not your own. You know, it's not because you try to do it. It's because of flowing of wisdom with you. You pretty much know, no, I didn't do that just because I wanted to do it. I'm not in charge anyway. So I am conscious and clean when I make decisions I just don't necessarily agree with. Do you understand me? And you pretty much, you would say, I'm pretty obedient. But you never have an opinion to begin with, so you know, God did something, well, it's God, You cannot tell me otherwise, I threw a comment out there, people would say, your opinion, can you defend yourself? Well, sorry, my friend, I can't. I don't even interested in talking about it. I don't even know what to talk about. What do you want to defend about it? So I question, while there, I hear all kinds of noises. And I said, Lord, I hear the noises. Okay, I need to know what I'm talking about. Do you understand my point? So I read this book coming on. Yes, I read this book. Okay. As a casual talking, we drive, I read it, and I begin to talk. This is good writing. I like to learn, English a little bit. I like to learn, read a little bit. What are you reading? Liberalism, capitalism, the problems, the source of it, where it came from, stuff like that. Stuff I just see. So you read this book, drop it down, pick it up, drop it down, pick it up. What has to do with Russia, right? So I think, what we're thinking, I need to know the history about Russia, right? At that present time, exactly Tolstoy's time. The next chapter, the whole chapter, Russia.
Wow.
And with Tolstoy, the last person, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I was talking. So how you then, you just threw your arms up, say, I'm not reading just a scholar book or a worldly book. I'm not just listening to them. I'm not just pick up a book and just put there, want to read it, try to enrich myself. Do you understand? This is fun to me. I have enjoy all that. It's a fun, it's a hobby for me, But I don't think it's me. Who is doing it? So when I talk about the topics, am I really just interested in the topics? And by the way, is that merely about Tolstoy or just conversion together? No. God used it to transpire for me to know what I'm going to do with Russia. What is it going to be in the future? I can't talk about it. But I pray, I get insight. I understand now. Why the news about it? What is happening? Behind people's mind or behind the national leadership, whatever they do, or what are they doing? I hope you guys understand why I'm saying this. No. Your parents, Rachel, either, your parents, you will have this freedom, this ability. When you settle your heart in the level I'm talking about wisdom engagement, and naturally, you know how to educate your child. You don't need the textbook. You'll never tell yourself, I don't know, I need to try hard. Actually, you will say, you know what? That child only 4 years old, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I don't wait when he's 8 years old. Or 8, you don't want to get on it, you still have a hard time with it. Well, Lord, I give it 2 years only. 10 years old, that's extremely down, Lord. Oh, you have 2 year time to make that lesson. You would say, that's impossible. Don't tell me about it. You grew up. You grew up. You're different than 10 years ago, right? Don't tell me you cannot do it. But the world will tell you, you can't do it. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to learn this, you have to think about the child, how they're being themselves. Give me a break. I mean, none of that. Before there is a language, there is a word, there is anybody even talking about how to be a good parent. People already is a good parent. Am I right? I just need to get hold of that. Don't tell me before people study, make a big topic about it, there's no good parents in the world. Are you joking? You have to do it, you have to do it, you have to do it. No, I don't. Now you liberate it. You liberate it from and you know you're getting somewhere. By doing this, you never know where you're heading. Because you never decided. It's somebody here saying, oh, this is right, that's wrong. Continuing this uncertainty. Did I miss it? Did I do a bad job? I'm not sure. Because in that book, I'm not on that, I'm on this. Are you crazy? You don't know about you. You don't know about that child. You don't know I'm not talking about we don't want to learn good lessons from us. I'm talking about let those things dictate to you how you process your life, right? How you should. Who governs your life? Who is the seed of your counsel? Is that us that really know how to be parents? I'm not so sure now. So no. But God is my good parent. You know, the next neighbor may be a good parent. Their child is different. Hey, we're going to spend time with them. And this is important. So I'm speaking about you have to have your regard at Tina right in order to know how to seek wisdom. You can't turn to the wrong source. Spiritual busybodies, right? So setting, getting somewhere. Let me tell you one of the things, this is as a caution. Smart, good sayings, people delight in those things, often is a superficial people. Why? I can compose a poem, write a movie all day long. I don't know how to do life. I hope you can get over this. Okay? You have a horse that it painted very good. It patched very good. Everything's very good. But the structure is not right. The foundation not right. The building material right? So if a person said, I'm going to make a good home out of this place, then where he started?
Tear it down.
He started with thinking foundation. He's checking on the beams. He's checking on the materials. And that's where he started. Right? He really want to have a home. He will torn everything, covered that up. Said, let me see what it will made of. Right? Let's see what the foundation is. Right? That's how he wanted his home to be a good home. Now, think about it. If somebody said, look, my ceiling, how colorful it is. Look how many flowers put there. Look how much patch the whole building. You pretty much know that man don't care about how good a home. He don't care about the longevity, the real solid home, a beautiful home. It's really about those can have it. Absolutely can have it. I don't think any man lay a beautiful foundation, build a beautiful mansion, spend a lot of time in the wall, in the things he will not know how to decorate a home, right? So,
Right.
but if you only think that is about having good home, we got a problem, right? So we need to know, is that person really have knowledge about having a home now? If he only tell you about the home is about that flower, that painting, how to do a sitting, how to do, a carpet. He never talk about that. Foundation. He never talk about, be careful with what the stone you use to build a house now. Be very careful about it. And let me tell you how to discern different stones. Some are sandstone, some are granite. So let's know how to discern. He's not interested in talking about this. The only interest is that there is a story that how that wallpaper, this guy, he did that sitting. It's pretty good. So who are you going to listen to? I would turn to the guy and said, hey, do you know sandstone is not necessarily good like granite? Now you understand where I came from. Am I critical or real? Critical or real? Should we continue to settle in the conversation and contend with the people talking about the wallpapers with you? Well, if you continue to do that, you will miss the real conversation. Because somebody may say, let's talk about the granite. Let's talk about the things to start with, right? So it's not maybe not exciting, but it's real. Let's start from there, let's not be distracted. So in family life, in life culture building, in community life, in your personal lifestyle with, pay attention to the fundamentals. If somebody is not interested in fellowship with you with the fundamentals, he just want to be smart. Run away from them as soon as possible. Because those people don't have wisdom. This is how the life wisdom. But the world is full of such ideas, right? Now, let's talk about recover a little bit back and forth. So we talk about the spiritual input, spiritual wisdom is a real source for our life, peace, life source, right? So the second I'm talking about is we need to learn to seek wisdom as a highest goal and joy of life. In everything, God is going to show love, He guiding, and my life become more orderly, more stable, more easy, also more exciting. But I want to visit a past topic. A past topic, in this topic, I'm speaking about there are two obstacles for us to fellowship with people. The first one is the obstacle in the mind. The second is obstacle in expression or in language, in whatever communication, communication. Now, Elaine, in the past we got to, should now you have awareness, this really is a big problem, right? If we don't think it's a problem for ourselves, we'll never have our ear pierced. We still can't. Obstacle one is the mind. If our mind is set up, if our mind is closed, or there's an obstacle there, it's just damn things, you know. I'm making sense? Cover things under, right? So lock things up. There's no amount of effort you do can't get anywhere. There's no amount others can speak to you. You cannot get through it, right? You know that. You teach different people, they have a mindset. You know who is able to really understand what you're talking about. And there are people who their mind is made up, you know, their mind is set. They don't want to hear you. They really don't. But they're busy. They will spend time, they spend 10 hours with you. And the other guy just spent 1 minute with you. You would think that 10 hour guy, you really want to get. I'm making sense to you? You know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the smartness, I'm talking about the mindset, mind. Certain people don't know how to learn. They actually refuse to learn by continuing to learn. Because it's a guilt trap for them. But when you get over this simple fact that by undo this way, am I right? You're always ready to learn. It's easy to learn. It's like a breeze. And you learn things, it don't have nothing to do with I know what to do, I know what to do. You just know how to learn. More quickly you know how to learn, and more quickly you learn. And when you're more quick to learn, you're always humble. Therefore, you're always learning. You're never tired of learning. Do you know how many topics I can juggle during the day? How many? It's not. I have time for everyone. I'm resting, I'm asleep in the bed. So how I learn? I didn't try to learn. My we is learning always. Therefore, everything comes together learning to me. Then I teach. I know what to teach. I know how to make up, you know. It's ready. Flesh has own. If Jesus has to write a textbook, build a foundation for him, so therefore. And what do you think Jesus wants people to learn? So why is speaking people in parables? Now, there are two reasons he's speaking parables. One, he's going to test people don't have interest to learn. The second is because the best tool to teach wisdom. Let's see, okay? The same tool can be a great stumbling block for many. It's the best tool to unlock a real one who want to learn. Do you ever think about that? We often think of parable, people get frustrated quick. But that's not true in the Bible. According to the Bible, the parable is a source of wisdom for us. We learn a lot by Jesus' parables. Now, that same wisdom, same language. Second one, what? The barrier of what? Language. Especially in modern world. We're so academic, intellectually indoctrinated. We think complete thoughts, flashy light, beautiful structures. This is the way how you do it. Syllabuses, calculus. Yeah, you better know your topic. Tell me why you talk like that. Where are you heading to? What's the next point? I don't have that for you about that, but I have a parable. Oh, I know it. Don't waste my time. Yeah, what are you talking about? So the guy is wake up, the crop grow. Yeah, sure. Everyone know about it. Every farmer have that. So what's the deal of it? I know that. Are you humiliating me? I don't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
By the measure, you measure. This is the word, right? By the measure what?
You'll be measured yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus have a reason to tell the disciples that pay attention to the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees. It's not because they're evil or not loving God. It's their way of approaching God is wrong. Then we approaching God, it disappeared or prevalent in church today. Let me ask you, this not that people religious, bad attitude towards this, I'm talking about rigid people and so packaged, they don't know, they lost themselves. So there's a mindset behind it. The mindset. There's a reason why the Pharisees said, this is how we do it, this is what God wants us to do, this is how we please God, this is we teach others to worship God, right? There's a reason. I definitely found a reason. Or else they'll give up. So what do we say now? Where do things are today? Just in the rabbinic tradition? Or here in your circles? That's why Jesus said, pay attention. He's not talking about despise the people. He said, there are ways of learning wisdom, approaching understanding is not right. If you do that, you will not hear me. By the measure you measure unto me will be measured back to you. You use the Pharisees' way of learning things, intellectual. You are not appreciating my wisdom. You are not able to learn from me. Let's turn to scripture now.
Nicole is here too now. Did
I'm
you know?
sorry?
Did you know Nicole is here too now?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, sister. Bless you. Allow me to continue the conversation.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
So the human soul, humankind as a whole, human race, is always thinking they are purpose-driven. God never wanted purpose-driven people. He wanted wisdom-driven. There's no purpose in life other than learn wisdom. That's it. Do we get it? Now that sounds crazy, right? If you build a society, build a fellowship, build a family, build a young children, just seeking wisdom, everything comes together for you. God is always there. You got all the solutions you need. You guys were smart, accomplished, intellectually, skill sets. I'm not supposed to have anything in your life. I'm not supposed to tell you what to do with your life. I mean, you respect me, I mean, we have culture different, we have many things. You're girls, moms, so why am I? A single guy, so why am I? I'm just talking simple terms, right? Why you have the time for me? Why you don't think I'm a bubbly? Why?
Because you come from God. You speak for God.
Because you love God. He knows the source of wisdom. It's you. It's not me. You started that working. And when you heard it, you said, that's God. That must be God. So you apply a different measurement. With that, you actually automatically set a check. So I'm not going to help my mind set up with that to decide how that happened. I'm not going to have a barrier or communication barrier to decide how this guy going to fellowship with me, how he should teach me.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And that seldom happens. Few men want to learn things in the teacher's way. Yet we think we're supposed to be a good teacher. Well, let's learn how to teach. The ones who are learning how to teach, they never follow textbooks. It's often you find the people scattered, but they have a sense of oversight and vision. So you want to learn from people who really can help you learn from people what? They know what they're talking about. And not because textbook, because practice. They know where to get you, where you need to be. I have many tools in life. I have 1,000 tools. I gather chock full. I just need one tool to get the work done. And that's that. So if somebody continue brag about his tool, that is what most people do in the world. They so care about the tools. We need tools. No wonder we need tools. Right? You want to be good at work, you better master the tools. The first thing you need to do is want to master the tools. But if you're so lost in just have the right tool, but never did the work, you will never accomplish anything. So how you learn from people, this sounds now worldly wisdom, am I right? That's not worldly wisdom. How you learn from people that can help you. How you can be helped by people to reach where you need to be. I'm not talking about what? Life situations. Don't trust with that. Don't put that in the we don't measure now. You want to be taught by people who are already there. And they being there long enough, they know how to guide you there. For example, I recently read a comment certain people like Nicole in your hearing, like Fenelon, like Oswald Chambers. When I read their book, I don't know who they are. I don't have any information. I mean, it's only later years those books have been chosen by me, right? So they're so helpful to me. I said, you know what? I don't sort out who the author really is. You know? So, what's life is about? That's after many years later. You know? But the book gave to me is always miraculous. I didn't buy it. I didn't go there just to get it. It was given by people having. Do you understand my point? The people get there. Now, here's the deal. You know why those people wrote in such a way?
Because they walked it out.
There you go. There you go. They're not interested in just talk. They're interested in expounding the truth. required a great patience to read those books. Because it said, oh, I know what it's all about.
Right. Yeah.
Read again.
Okay.
Read again.
Mm-hmm.
Read it again. Read again. Read it again. Read it again. One time? No. No. 100 times. There's books I can read. That's it.
Right.
There are books I read more than in between the lines, behind the pages. I'm going to read that man's spirit. I'm going to find how God did that to him. Why he talked in such a way. Why he even feel has to see such a thing. Therefore, you can be real friends with them. Real friends. And you can see the flaw and limitations. Don't tell me you don't supposed to see that. Therefore, you can have the wise ones across ages to teach you. And the flaws is also a blessing to you. The limitations is more than discernment. It should be your blessings. Then you see the beauty of God. I'm making sense to you? Yeah. David had flaws, right? The flaws are used by God to teach us something, right? So most have limitations. Don't tell me most don't have limitations, right? Compared to Jesus. So I'm saying this is you get over the barrier, what? Of the mind. Barrier of conversation. So you begin to tap into the true conversation, how to learn wisdom. Not by gifts, but by the outflowing wisdom itself. When the disciple in the early days struggled profoundly with this, I'll just give a snippets of Jesus' life, the conversations in Mark chapter either 4 or 8. They were crossing a river, and I think it's in Mark 8. Yeah, there you go. There you go. In Mark 8. So in 14 now, we just know they feed the people, am I right? They feed the thousands. And the disciple of their own hands increase the bread came to be, am I right? So they were the ones spread the bread around in the mass that followed them. And they also, let's see this, in 8:11, Mark is the gospel book. He said the Pharisee king began to question Jesus to test him, and they asked him for a sign from heaven. So that's the measurement that they wanted to. If you just do a sign, well, we're good to go. We're going to learn from here. And
He sighed deeply.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That cracks me up.
What do you want to know?
There's a sign from heaven right there.
There you
He
go.
sighed deeply.
That's a good one.
I know, right?
We're the girl over something.
Oh, brother.
Jesus, right? So he's a virgin, and you read it for us until the 21.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
He sighed deeply and said, "Why does this generation ask for a miraculous sign? I tell you the truth, no sign will be given to it." Then he left them, got back into the boat, and crossed to the other side.
I'm done with you guys.
The disciples had forgotten to bring bread, except for one loaf they had with them in the boat. "Be careful," Jesus warned them. "Watch out for the yeast of the Pharisees."
Now, read it for me in the same chapter 4 and 5.
8:4. His disciples answered, "But where in this remote place can anyone get enough bread to feed them?" "How many loaves do you have?" Jesus asked. 7, they replied.
Okay, then continue the rest.
So in 8:15, "Be careful," Jesus warned them, "watch out for the yeast of the Pharisees and that of Herod." They discussed this with one another and said, "It is because we have no bread."
They're in the same boat, right? I don't think it's a big cruise ship, right? You can't hear right out there, right? Just sitting there, right? His side.
No, it doesn't.
They pretty me beat up a little bit, defeated, right? So they pretty much have this heaven moment. That's why they feel afraid to approach him, because he's like a bit defeated. Some of them are defeated, but what can I do with these people, right? So, and so evidently ended up the conversation relationship was very awkward.
Yeah.
So the disciples said, he began to talk about it. The heaviness he wanted to bring out of the eyes. He said, "Listen, don't be influenced by that."
Yeah.
Oh, he must talk about I mean, they are smart people. I mean, not smart. They're sensible people. So why they you? I don't know. Why? Let me ask why. The better one? The mind. Then he clearly said the Pharisees, the bread, so that's the better one. Oh, that's the disciples. That's those who can hear and who want to learn. The Pharisees just walk away, right? And the multitudes just feed them and leave them alone, right? So, those who never want to deal with this to bear with them, right? So,
might have hung up on
we did? What's going on?
does it time out? Does it have a certain time?
Oh, there might be.
I think if you're not logged in, to the...
I'm sorry. I'm going to share this again with them. I should talk to them. So anyway, I'm in the intense conversation, so I'm going to continue. I feel. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Okay, that's that. Okay, this should be back. So.
Rich said she's going to head to bed.
Okay. What time is it now?
9:04, so it's 11 for her.
Okay, we need to go, so I'll wrap it up then. So hello. But anyway, if you check in. If not, we finish this portion. So I'm gonna wrap it up then. So
Okay, so we're... So 8:16. They discussed this with one another and said, "It is because we have no bread." Aware of their discussion, Jesus asked them, "Why are you talking about having no bread? Do you still not see or understand?
He is not talking in peaceful ways, right?
Yeah.
Continue, and because their ways of receiving him, he continue his agitations, am I right?
Yeah.
And we have a wrong idea about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And he can only show that to what? To those actually he wants to teach, am I right? He has to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see my point? He don't show that side to anyone else, am I right? So
Right.
he's upset with them.
Yeah.
We have an idea Jesus is so patient. I'm just talking, am I right? So,
Sure.
but no, Jesus is very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
He's a plain talker. And he's on the point.
Mm-hmm.
Please go ahead.
Do you still not see or understand? Are your hearts hardened?
Ah, that is very accusing. Where? The heart of hardened is not against him, they were with him.
Right.
So what then the hardening heart is talking about? Understanding what you affiliate, affectionately care about. What kind of wisdom you care for. What smell you want to smell? Yeah? What food feed you? What food you want? If the wisdom of the Lord is not appealing to you, what do you want? What kind of wisdom you want? Why you don't want to learn anything to begin with? See, so he, you understand, he brings those to life to them, so, and he said, well, there's a heart matter in this. There's a heart where you set your heart desires. What is really your heart set on? In the world, in other things, or for the pure ways of God? Am I so pure wisdom of God? Go ahead, continue. Yes.
Do you have eyes but fail to see?
Ah.
And ears but fail to hear? Don't you remember when I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000? How many basketfuls of pieces did you pick up?
You read with a slow motion. But Jesus was speaking very sharply.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Very fast paced. It's like shh, and like a sword, right? It's like a boom, 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 shooting on them. Yeah. Go ahead.
12. They replied. When I broke the 7 loaves for the 4,000, how many basketfuls of pieces did you pick up?
What is that? What? 12?
Yeah.
No, go on. You didn't give them any time to reflect, right? Okay. It's narrow them down, right? So.
Yeah.
Oh, they feel so bad. Wait, does it work? Right? It didn't make it any easier for them.
No.
What about the rest of the trip? It's not a second. It's not the 10 minutes chorus. It's ending. That's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Answered 7. He said to them, do you still not understand?
Our Lord is so amazing. Think about it, the things He can do to us in changing us. It doesn't make things easier or fun, but it's necessary for us to overcome what? This wrong kind of measurement, wrong kind of standard, or to basically wrong kind of spiritual sense we apply. Eye to see, ear to hear, and heart will understand. That's his vocabulary. So what are you talking about? In the teaching of the 7th Spirit I've been talking about, in ultimately you learn the wisdom of the Lord. started with reverentially approaching God. Said, God has something for me to teach me His ways. You know, I need to grow into His wisdom, stature, right? So then, as a spiritual baby, you know, and then it goes on with speaking about you got to worship God in His ways. This is not about worship God in spirit and in truth. You got to have a spiritual mind. Open up with the spiritual channel, spiritual senses, and our spiritual faculty God endowed us. We come back to it. We need to hear with our spiritual hearing and see with our spiritual sight. Understand with our spiritual heart, you know, so change. Your counsel changed, your environment changed. And then we talk about the obstacles. Because this has required us to break off the natural with the old mind, the lower realm of our being, right? It required awareness, a check, continued check between what is a carnal, what is spiritual. What is the flesh, what is of the conviction of the mood of the spirit. Making sense, you know? Carnal, spiritual, that is a ways, in the ways. But flesh and spirit of the spirit, that is our own choices. I have the ability to rely upon. I rely on flesh, handle it, calamity. If I rely on the spirit, it will be involved for me to enter and see and enter in the kingdom of God, in the spiritual reality. I will remain and learn in the spiritual reality. I know I drag a long conversation with it, but it seems I have a long day as well, every little bit tired. So, bless the Lord, bless the Lord. But with that, we sum it up today. Again, emphasize, learn to use the right measurement, or rather, right awareness to hear God. You can't continue on the old vocabulary, old conversation, the lower ways of man, to receive the teachings of the Lord. And this you have to change the way you ask for. What will satisfy you? There's okay, so well, Lord, we so bless Nicole and Rachel. We bless your ways in our midst. We thank you for our people that God. I know that you are turning a page.
Thank you, Lord.
You're closing a chapter to open up. Not more than a new chapter, a new page. You open up a whole new book. Sure, pray for us. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, God. Yes, I rejoice, Lord, in what you're doing, God. I thank you for this teaching. Thank you for this pouring out of your wisdom. Just the practical ways that you meet us where we are, God. I just thank you for your deliverance, continual renewing, God, and training. Thank you for this way of life in you. Lord, I ask for perseverance, God, in applying these things, Lord. I pray just that our zeal and our passion, our desire for you, Lord, would indeed be translated into the work of fighting for that progress, Lord, and diligence, God, in continual obedience, yieldedness, God, in doing the work, Lord,